Okay, let's chit chat a little bit about groundwork. I got Bear here. Bear's a pretty nice, compliant horse. No real concern out of this guy for the most part. Does pretty well. And I'm just gonna show a few things that I've showed in the past, and I'll link to them below as usual about why we want to do groundwork. I have here a tarp, as you can see. Bear's pretty scared, so he gets a little worried but not scared, which is perfect, which is good. If he was completely lack of any worry at all, it'd be even better, but it's good. It shows a little bit of where we can work with him if we needed to. So the first thing we do, as I've shown before, is we need to be able to back a horse up, and I don't want to have to swing my rope or get a stick or get anything, so I really like him to just sort of move back. There's a step, there's a step, there's a step. And the thing about backing up, and the reason I'm sort of bringing this up, is I've been talking to a few people recently and getting questions, and people wondering, why do you want to, why do you want to do this? Why groundwork? Isn't it kind of boring? But it isn't. The thing is, it's challenging and it's hard, but it means something, and it means something to the horse, because if you watch horses enough and you observe them, each one of them, and I'm looking over here because that's where all the horses are, but each one of them can move another horse by a flick of its ear, or a look in its eye, or a step forward, or any of those things. And that is a high level of communication that a lot of people don't see. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'd say there's a lot of people that don't see, and I'm sure I miss a lot of it. But I see some more than I used to see, which means I'm learning, so that's good. Observation is everything. Watch these guys. They will all be talking to each other. Horses are very chitty-chatty. Okay. So, as you see, Bear moved just a little bit, and that's no big deal, but him moving without me asking him to move is a form of communication as well. Whether he's bored, whether he'd like to do something else, it's the fact that he thinks he ought to move or can move somewhere without me directing him. If he's with me, then I'd like to be able to direct him where I need him to, because while Bear is a very, very calm horse, there are other horses that are they have a lot of movement. And so I'm showing you a simple example because it's easy to show, but Bear isn't moving. But if he was moving and he did move, I'd put him back to where I had him, and then, you just sort of pat him and let him know it's good. Now, the backwards movement, it's small. We want to get groundwork to... I'll pet him a little, but I really like him to go back. Come on, back. One more. Yeah. Stay. I'd like him to stay there. So that can be very consistent. You can be very, very consistent and methodical about where you'd like them to be, and it doesn't take them long to figure it out, and pretty soon they just sort of hang out with you, and they're calm and happy. So the goal is to do as little as you can to get as much as you can, and I'm probably going to say that an awful lot when I'm doing groundwork, but this is just a good indication. Hey, wake up, easy to move. So I had to get a little bit big. I almost had to yell in horse. There. Right? So I'm going to ask him again. Now I'm just going to use my finger. So it should be even less. It should be just this in the end. And Bear is very sensitive. I've got him there. There. And I'm getting a little bit higher as I do this. Some people will try to come down low. But horses can't see underneath their chin very well at all. It's actually quite hard. And you'll get their attention more if you become bigger. But the idea is not to be big. You want to be small and subtle and quiet. Especially for those super sensitive horses that just get jittery at everything, although you want to get them past that. So we'll ask them again. Now I'd like not to move my feet to get him to go. I'll bring him over here. I'm not sure if he's in frame. I'll ask him to come over. Now what I'd like, stay there, hey. There. What I'd like to be able to do is have him hang out at a distance and me be able to do something without shaking the rope or going underneath or swinging in the air or anything silly like that. So I'm going to do it from a distance here. Ready, bear? Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, it could be better. Pay attention. Hey. So I'd work on that. Now I'm going to ask him to come forward. I'll ask him to stop, a little bit loud. There, he's getting a little quieter. We're both able to get a little bit quieter. So I hope this has been a good indicator or a good demonstration of how we can get softer and softer and softer with these guys to get them to do what we want. And it doesn't matter if I'm trying to get them to back up. Hey, there we go. I'll ask him forward. I'll wait. That little movement you saw there where he lifted his head up before he came forward shows the tension that he was showing by not moving, even though there was tension on the rope. So I'm going to draw again. That's pretty good. Just little movement. Hey. Little movements. I'll ask him back. And that's pretty good there. Like that. So again, yeah, I hope this is sort of a good demonstration of where you can get to where it doesn't take much. So when you really need them to respond because something's getting them worried, hopefully you can start little, but the really big voice that you might have will mean a lot to them. Instead of if you're always yelling at them, if I was always doing that for something as quiet as right now, well, that would just be silly. I'd be ineffective if he was actually worried and concerned. Like if I brought this. When I pulled on the rope to ask him to come forward, it was slight, even though his head is high and he's a little worried. It doesn't take much. I think it's a good thing. I think it's helpful. And it's good for the horse, good for the handler. So there you go. Thanks for watching again. See you guys again soon. Come on, Bear.